Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Air Hauler 2 with me, you heard 37. So in this flight, this one's going to be a little different because we have to finish someone else's job. There was a job here, these shoes, it was 1,449 pounds. It was too much to do in one trip. So I had this girl, Caitlin, take the first part of it up to KVTA where we'll be going. And now she's brought the plane back, and we will go up there and finish it off. I think I'm still down here, technically, yeah, down there at KFLO. I haven't flown in a little while, and I've actually been out of town and stuff, and I'm about to start my new job, so things get a little weird. Hopefully not too bad. Hopefully that'll kind of make me want to go flying again, so I won't have all that much time off like I do now. So hopefully that'll kind of get me back in the flying mood. Anyhow, we will be going from our base in Huntington, KHTS, up to KVTA, I believe. What was that, Newark, Ohio? I think that's what it was. Yet, Newark, Ohio, just east of Columbus there. Oh, we've already taken 69% of that, which is about 1,000 pounds. We got 449 pounds for us to deliver. Go over to FS Commander and look at the weather. The wind. We'll probably, I don't know what we'll be taking off on, what is that, 12? Probably taking off on 12. We'll use Addons or whatever and find out which one is going to be active. So we'll take off, go up to Newark Heath. The wind, as you can see, is coming directly from the north. So what we'll do is we'll come in here, and we're going to land on runway 27, so we'll get our traffic pattern, and land on runway 27. That's a localizer for 9, but don't really need it. I guess you could come in from either side, but we'll come in and land on runway 27. That's a heading of 274 degrees. Airport elevation is going to be about 883 feet. Now, I've already got her loaded up here. We'll go ahead and click fly now. I got new procedures. I went out of town and I must have printed out, I don't know how many procedures. I must have done like, it has to be around 30 planes or so. 25, 30 procedures for planes, so got a huge stack of them. Because these are the ones that I found off the internet the last few times, and these all came from the developers like Carenado, or whoever made the planes. This one is Carenado, so that's what it'll be from. So it'll be hopefully a little bit better. Although I was looking at them, and some of it does seem like it's from a real airplane. I don't quite understand that, but should be good. Last position, not really, because we didn't fly it up there, so just put it at 7. And we don't want it that late. That'll put us about 11 a.m. right there. Alright, so let's go ahead and we'll meet on over at the plane. Alright, everybody, here we are in the plane. There's actually, look, an AI plane. There's only one. This is the first one we've seen in a while. Is that a Piper? So I don't know what kind of Piper that is. Alright, let's jump in our plane. Like I said, let me just check one thing, because I didn't actually hit this yet. So I'll hit cold and dark. Yeah, that turns all... Should have everything off now. Because like I said, we got these procedures. Alright, so we'll say all control lock and pitot tube and everything covers all off. So we'll go to mags. Mags are off. Avionics switch bus 1 and bus 2 are both off. Master switch, alternator, and battery are on. Alright, so it says the primary flight display does come on. It looks okay. Let's zoom in here. Do I have a view closer? Alright, so it says fuel quantity for the left and right checked. Should be about 25 gallons in each. And that looks like that would be right for both. Oil pressure annunciator is flashing. That's correct. Low vacuum annunciator should be checked that it's on. We've got the low vacuum right there is good. Avionics switch bus 1 comes on. It says forward avionics fan. I can't really, it says make sure you hear it. We can't really hear it. We'll turn number 1 off. And then it says 2 on, but look, you can't, I guess you can't do them independently. So, we'll say that that's good. So, avionics, bus 2 is off. Pitot heat, we're not going to mess with that because you didn't have to check the pitot heat tube to make sure it's hot. So, we obviously don't want to do that. Alright, so let's look here. Low voltage annunciator, check that the annunciator is shown. Low voltage is right there, so that's good. Fuel selector valve is in both. Move this up to the top. There we go. So that's in both. Alt static air is off, it's fully pushed in. And we're not going to worry about the oxygen mask and the fire extinguisher. So that all looks good. Alright, pre-flight inspection complete, passenger briefing complete, seatbelts, everything is good. Brakes, I can't really test them because of the way I use it, but they're set. Circuit breakers are all pushed in. Electrical equipment, well, how can all the electrical equipment be off if we have this off? It says off, but then it says avionics, bus 1 and 2 off. So I guess we need to turn everything off. Alright, so cowl flaps, we'll go ahead and open them. Let's see here. Everything has to be hidden. Where is it? Right here? Alright, so now they're 100% open. Fuel selector valve is in both. Sounds like that guy's getting closer. I don't know if he's taking off. Alright, so throttle control. Open about 1/4 of an inch. We'll open it just a little bit. Propeller control, high RPM, fully pushed in. I'm going to start moving over. Standby battery switch. Hold on for 1 second. Now it says test it for 20 seconds. Verify that the green test lamp does not go off. I'm not going to do it for 20 seconds. So we'll say that's good. Turn that on to armed. Engine indicating system check parameters. Verify no to access through the engine page indicators. I guess it's talking about this. I would guess. I'm not really for sure. But we'll say that that's good. Bus E volts check verified 24 volts. So minimum shown. We only have actually have 22. Although it says bus E. It says bus E volts and then M bus volts. I have no idea. Oh, I guess we do have E and B. Yeah, we do have E and M. Alright, so it's E check verified 24 volts. We have 0. And then M check at least 1.5. We got 21.8 or maybe just 21. Battery S, I don't know what the heck, do we have S? Is that S? I guess that's battery S. Amps, check verified, discharge negative, it's actually at 0. Proper area, we'll say it's clear, no one's in the way over here. Master switch, go ahead, alternator and battery on. Beacon light, let's go ahead and throw that on. Back up just a little bit. Fuel pump comes on. Make sure set to full rich. Make sure we have flow. And then we pull this all the way off. Fuel pump comes off. And we'll go ahead. Well, we've got to give her a little bit of fuel. And get her started up. And advance that to full rich. Now see, E over here is still at 0, so I don't quite understand that. Let's go ahead and lean this back out. Here's about 50%. Alright, next page. By the way, fuel flow, there, at the very top one. I was looking, I was like, I know it's on here, but I can't remember where it was. It is up. Alright, oil pressure. It has gone up and it's into the green. Amps, MBAT and SBAT. M and S. No, we have voltage except for E. I don't know why that is. But both of these M and S do have amperage. That's kind of odd. Well, it does say amps, M and S, so I guess that would be right. E, I don't know why it has no voltage. Nav lights coming on. Avionics bus 1 and bus 2 come on. Alright, the next one is starting the engine with external power. We don't have to worry about that, so let me go through here. Alright, and the next one is actually the before takeoff checklist. So, I guess technically we can go ahead and start taxiing. This Rise doesn't have a taxi checklist. A lot of these do have taxi checklists. Come back here. Alright, parking brake coming off. And we'll start our pushback. Let's check up here. It's almost like dead north. So we'll take off. That guy was taxiing over here, so we'll go ahead over there and take off on runway 30 as well. Bring my yoke back. Go ahead and stop the pushback. Whoa, I guess she's maybe a little high. It didn't say how many RPMs to set it at when we started to go forward. Come on, man. Did I not make a view for that? So, pitot heat, I'm going to turn that on. Let's give everyone power. Taxi lights. Alright, now we can go back up and start taxiing. Yeah, we started rolling forward. I was like, wait a second. There does look like a lot of air traffic up there, which is nice. I like that. Figure we'll just take off right there. We'll intersect and take off. It takes a little longer, you know, than some of the smaller planes will to get up, but it should still be fine. Get this thing back under control here. Yeah, we'll come right over here. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time getting this thing to go straight. Parking brake is set. And real quick, before we go through the list, we put this over to 299. But it's not, is it 299? Wait 1 second. Or is it 269? I'm trying to remember exactly. Not. I think it's actually 271. Alright, so I'll set it at 271. I can't all of a sudden remember the freaking heading of the runway. It's 12 and 30. So 199, it's gonna be 299. Is what it is. Yeah, that's why it didn't make sense to me. It's 299. I was looking west, but it's not perfectly west. That's what's screwing me up. 299. So before takeoff, checklist parking brake is set. I'm gonna bring this power down a little bit. Flight controls. Make sure everything is free and correct. Rudder pedals. Everything looks good. Flight instruments, the PFDs all look good. Altimeter, I'm going to go ahead and just click this. That resets our altimeter. Fuel quantity. We've already checked that, but we'll check it again. You can see it's right there at about 25 in each, which is correct. Mixture control, full rich. Fuel selector valve, make sure it's in both. We're not going to mess with the autopilot checking that. Alright, throttles up to 1800 RPM. It's really hard to get it right there at 1800, man. I've already brought down the power and it still won't go down. Come on, thing. Alright, that's right around 1800 RPM. I'm not going to get it much closer than that. So mags, we'll check the mags. Alright, both seem good. Alright, check the prop from a high to low. But you don't want to bring it down too much from what I read before. So we'll go slowly and bring it back up. It says from low to high, but from what I understand, you don't want to do it more than like 300 RPM. I'm going to move this from engine over to system. We need to check the vacuum. I thought vacuum was on this page. Is it back over at engine? Why can't I find vacuum all of a sudden? This is taking forever to get to start. There we go. Vacuum is just in the green. Engine indicators, everything looks good. Ammeter and everything, we've already checked. Everything looks good on the voltages. Look at this. E has come up to 28 now on both sides, so that looks good. Enunciators, check. There are none. Throttle control, check idle. And then we bring it to 1,000 or less. It's still coming down. Sweet. So everything looks good there. I'm going to go ahead and set this to 7,500 feet. Let's see if we go up that high. Alright. Transponder. VFR. So it should be good. CDI. Let's make this on GPS. It says CDI, yeah, select your nav source. We said that cabin 12-hour volt power off, so take it off. Flaps up to 20 degrees, it's 10 preferred, so we'll put it at 10. Cowl flaps are open. Strobe light coming on. Landing lights coming on. That does make sense to turn that cabin power off. Just make sure you got all your power while you're taking off. Alright, 39 and 25. I gotta try and remember that. This is what we want after takeoff. 39 for the power and 25 for the RPM. Look good that way and that way. Alright, let's go ahead and enter the runway. That seemed like a long time to get that done. Although I guess if you're in real life, you would definitely want to make sure everything's good. Alright, so I'm going to bring the power up. And here we go. Trying to keep it out of the red there at the top, the power. Although it says 39, like I said. Trying to keep her level here. Straight. Let's go ahead and rotate. Bring the nose down just a little bit. To pick up just a little more airspeed. Everything looks good. Let's go ahead and retract the flaps. Yeah, now see, it says on the climb, adjust your throttle to 39, and then it props to 25. Like, we didn't even take off at 39. 38.8, that'll be good enough. I don't want to, it's hard to get it to 29. And our RPMs are already at 2,500 RPM. That actually says 39 on the takeoff. Alright, so normal climb, we'll move this. Alright, that makes more sense. 30 and 2400. Let me get my... Sorry, I have to grab the procedures. And that's why everything gets a little scurry. So that's about 30 right there. I don't know if I can get it exactly 30. And we'll move this down to 2400 RPM. It's about 2400 right there. And we want about 20 gallons an hour. I can't read that, so I'll have to wait until we get set. We need to turn. We'll head on over to Newark. Yeah, we went way out because, like I say, I'm trying to read these damn procedures, man. Makes everything so complicated. Trying to fly one hand and then go through the pages on with another is not very easy. I'm having to let go of the joystick and everything. Because I only use the joystick and no pedals, I don't have any controls whatsoever when I let go. Now we're headed in the right direction. There we go. Let me move my heading over. I want my heading to go about straight where we are before we go over to the nav. Yaw damper autopilot is on. Heading mode for arm for the altitude. How do we do vertical speed? There it is. That'll be good right there at 800. Alright, now I can look at the procedures more. Alright, so like I said, 20 gallons. Fuel flow is right there at 27.8, and we're at full, so whichever is less, that's good. Fuel selector valve is still in both. Cowling flaps are open. Everything looks good. It says maximum performance climb airspeed about 89 knots, which is kind of surprising, to be quite honest. Because it says throttle control at 39 and 2500 RPM with 34 gallons an hour. That's on the maximum performance. Alright, when we get to our cruising altitude 7,500, power goes from 15 to 30 inches. At the RPMs will be 2,000 to 2,400. No more than 75% power recommended. Mixture lean for cruise fuel flow using the TIT indicator. So I guess we won't. We don't use the exhaust gas temperature. Let's use the TIT. Cowling flaps as required, so we'll close those, and everything will look good. All right, sweet. So let's look how far we've got from right here. 100 miles on the button. So that's about 51 minutes. So I'm not going to lean it just yet, although I think we probably should. I mean, we're already at 5,300 feet. It only talks about the lean once you get up to the cruise. I'm going to go ahead and put that at 80. Then, of course, I will check it again once we get up to 7,500 feet, which is only about 1,900 feet to go. I'm guessing that's Ashland. By the way, I'm not seeing any ground gremlins, which is good. Cross my fingers for that. Knock on wood. And I think one reason is I've got buffer pools re-enabled. Apparently, anytime you change with the scenery complexity, it takes buffer pools off, and I did not know that. So a lot of the times when I was talking about ground gremlins, I thought I had buffer pulls enabled. I actually didn't, so it's kicking it off. Yeah, that's Ashland, because that over there would be the Russell train terminal. That's one thing I think Orbx with their Vector, man, they don't do a crappy job with the train areas. They look kind of crappy to me. But what are you gonna do, you know? Not everything can be perfect. It's odd that they've got Ohio looking more dense. It's not even close. Ashland is way more dense. That's not even... There's hardly anyone there, actually. So Ironton would be more down here, I believe. Oh well. About 800 feet to go here. We've already earned it for 7,500, so we won't have to mess with anything. And then we'll get ready in our cruise. We still haven't gotten over to the line. I just find it kind of senseless to move it over, you know, hit nav, and go straight over to it. Just let it go at an angle. Alright, got 100, coming up on 150 feet to go. And we'll get this all set up. Man, we got in the clouds. We maybe 5,500 would have been better. Jeez. Can't see anything. Alright, we got just 20 feet to go. Nose is coming down. Sweet. So at 7,500, we want to start power between 15 and 30. I'll go to the middle of that. Let's see what 22 does. Is that 22.6? That'll be good. So the prop RPM goes 2,000 to 2,400, so we'll do 2,200. It's right around 2,300, so we need another. Here we go. That's about 2,200 right there. It says no more than 75% power recommended. We're only at 52, so I mean, technically we could add more power if we wanted. And I'm going to go ahead and close the cowl flaps. Alright, so now let's check out the leaning of the mixture. Using the TIT temperature. Let's see if I remember where that is. Because I think we're on the right page. No, it wasn't. So it's right there. It's the bottom one. It's not in the green yet. Let's also... do we lose it in here? Yeah. Because I like to watch the fuel flow. See, right now it's only at 10.4. Let's back up just a little bit. That actually says lean, doesn't it? Wow, I wish I knew what... I've never noticed that before. You see the EGT. Wow, I wish I knew how to use that. Because that would be so much better. Okay, so TIT, we're not even in the green yet. Fuel flow, you can watch it change. See how it goes up? That makes no sense whatsoever. See how now it's up at 11.1. Now it's going up. There it came down after that one. See, that goes 11.6 at 50. Move it and now it comes down. 11.2, 10.8. That seems about right where we would do it in the other planes. It's in TIT just barely in the green now. By the way, I'm sorry, I was supposed to hit that. So that's where we'll leave it at. Which was that? What was that? 10.8 an hour? Yeah, about 10.8. I just, man, I really wish I knew how to use that. That might help. Although it says to use, well, there's the TIT temperature. See the 1302 or is that 1382? Now see, it went way up. That went to 10.4. See, our temperature TIT comes up. Well, look, we're only at what, 35%? So that looks like about where we want it right there. 35%. That just seems kind of low for 7,500 feet. I could be wrong, though. Alright, well, let's look here. We got 41 minutes to go. 94 miles. It's kind of a slow plane, really. So I'm going to go ahead and speed on up, and we will be back in just a minute. Alright, everybody, slowing it down to normal speed. We're down at 1,900 feet. That's just over 1,000 above. Airport over to our right for right now. We turn into it in just a second. Already gone through the descent checklist. Everything looks good. Let's go ahead and hit up ATC here. There's airport list. KVTA. Tune into the traffic. We're running away for a landing. We are landing on runway 27. It'll be a full stop landing. And announce our position.
Tango Alpha traffic. Cessna November 8631 Golf is 6 miles southwest 1,900 inbound to land runway 27.
6.4 out. Let's go ahead and I think I might be actually turning a little too soon here. Could have slowed down on the descent or waited just a minute. I waited till about 30 miles out, go down from 7,500 to our 1,900. There's some lights over here. Enter the traffic pattern here in just a second. Doesn't seem like we're 5 miles away, but that's what it says. Alright, I'm going to go about 049 here. Might have gotten a little too early still. Not too bad. Actually. Alright, and then here in a second we'll go 094. Let it get a little closer. It feels like we're almost right on top of it, but we're actually like 3.5 miles away. By the way, I'll go ahead. I know we have to turn this power switch off, so I'm going to go ahead and do that while we got time. There's not too much to do. I'm going to go ahead and turn 094 here. That'll put us parallel with the runway. I'm going to go ahead and slow her down a little bit. So we'll go through our before landing checklist. Alright, so fuel selector valve is in both. Mixture is full rich. Propellers in high RPM. Landing lights and taxi lights are on. Autopilot will turn that off in a second. Cabin 12-volt power switch is already off because we just turned that off. Alright, so it says airspeed about 70-80 with flaps full, which is just fine. I almost forgot about that. We on the downwind. Here in a second, we'll turn left to about 004. Looks kind of big, actually. Newark, Ohio. This will be 004 heading 274 is the heading of the runway. I hate having to do that rapidly. So what I'll actually do here in a second. So let's go ahead and do it. Click off the heading. Let's go ahead and set our heading to 274. There's 274. Flaps going to 10. And I'll go ahead and get off the power a little bit here.
Kilo Victor Tango Alpha.
Oh,
Traffic. Cessna.
autopilot off.
631 Golf.
Yaw damper off.
Runway 27.
Forgot I only clicked out a heading. Don't want to get her too slow here. I know we have to get down a little bit more. Man, if I only had that track iron, like I always say. But it is true, man, that would make such a daggone difference. I'm also too high up in the sea. So even if I had it, I'd probably be blocked off right now. So I'm just kind of guessing. Wow, we're actually pretty good. Flaps going to 20. Flight director, everything is off, so we should be good. Get a little more over to the right here. Let's go ahead and announce that we're on final.
Kilo Victor Tango Alpha. Traffic. Cessna November 8631 Golf is on final. Runway 27 to land.
Feel like I'm getting pushed over to the left. We're at full flaps. Alright, whoa, ballooning. Ballooning me up. Bring the power down just a little bit. Thing is, I'm afraid we're going to get a little too slow and descend too quickly. Easy there. Man, we are getting blown off to the left like crazy. Says it was okay. Man, now see, I can't get over back to the left. Oh, what's going on? Getting pushed left, and then when I land, we're getting swung over to the right. That's kind of odd. Let's go ahead and exit the runway. Wasn't the best landing, obviously. But, hey, it wasn't that bad. It said it was okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and now start with clear of the runway.
Alpha, traffic, Cessna, November 8631
Stop my recording.
is clear of the runway.
Parking brake coming on for a second so we can get this set up. I know we gotta open the cow flaps and see. Flaps are up. Let's go ahead and it actually doesn't tell you everything through that one, so that was kind of a waste. I do know we need to open the cow flaps. Let's go over here. The strobes and the landing lights can come off. Pitot heat, you can come off as well. Alright. Parking brake is off. Let's go ahead and taxi on over. Getting a little fast there. Trying to bring back the power. It just seems like we're still going crazy through it. Now see, it's actually wanting to swerve a little to the right. Maybe that's why it went to the right as soon as we landed. But we were getting blown to the left with the wind. Is I don't know. Kind of awkward. Bring this power back. I guess we can go ahead and enter or exit the taxiway here. I was going to say here on up. Go ahead and exit right here. There's a parking area right there to the right. swinging her wide so I can try and get to that taxi or parking spot. Let me see something. Okay, so it's to our left. I literally can't see anything. That's why I sit so high up in the seat, but when you then you're up here way too high. All right, so parking brake coming on. All right, so the parking brake is set, throttle is at idle, electrical equipment off. That doesn't really tell you a whole lot. Electrical equipment, I don't know what all electrical equipment we can turn off. Let's just talk about like nav lights and taxi lights. Mixture control goes to idle, because you can't turn these off unless you use the bus button. Magnetos come off. Master switch, alternator, and battery off, so I guess we can go ahead and turn the beacon off. Standby battery switch, you come off. Never say anything about the avionics. Maybe that's what I was talking about, electronics. I don't know. Control lock, we don't just worry about installing that. Fuel sector valve, left or right, to prevent bleeding into the opposite tanks. Alright. That looks like all of it. So let's go ahead and move on over to air hauler 2. Go ahead and unload this, finish up this job. Sweet, so that job is done. Alright, so let's check this out. Took off at 4:40 p.m., landed at 5:36. Takeoff fuel 296 pounds. Landed with 228.5 pounds. Max altitude 7,509 feet. Max pitch negative 15.35. Max roll negative 24.65. Max speed 138.25 knots. Minimum G 0.87. Minimum GC is 0. Max G is 2.9. Max GC is 0. Stall false. Overspeed false. Landing description okay. Gear down true. Landing on asphalt. No damage to the runway. No damage to the plane. Came down at 3. Wow, we did come down hard, didn't we? That's fast. I thought we probably laid her down pretty hard. So it was 319.29 feet a minute. Landing speed 57.42 knots. Landing pitch negative 5.04. Landing roll 0.1 to 5. Landing heading 283.59. Wind speed 8. Direction 359. So if his commander was correct with that wind coming straight out of the north, it still shows this, but sometimes it's just like you gotta roll through things or close down air hauler 2 and load it back up and it'll be gone. Yeah, don't worry about that. So our financials, we're looking good on money. 804,000, yeah, we got a bunch of money. And so this is going to be the last flight in this station. I believe this is the 6th total flight. 5 jobs or whatever, and we did the check ride, so I think that's like a total of 6, but 5 regular videos with it. So I think we'll move on, and I think the next one, can't be for sure. There might be one before, but I think we'll try and go to the Baron, the Beechcraft Baron 58. There could be one more before that. I can't remember. Because I don't want to do the Seneca 5. We did that a bunch in FS Passenger, so I don't really think if we do that one here, maybe we do like an episode or 2, because we flew that plane a lot. I didn't like that plane a whole lot. It was alright, but I think there might be one before the Baron. I'm not quite sure. And we need to get a base. Daytona Beach is within our reach. That's like 300 and some grand to open, I think, so we might go for that. I was kind of thinking Hilton Head, though, because I really like Hilton Head. Where is Hilton Head? Right here, I believe. Somewhere around in here. It's not a huge runway, because there's kind of a distance here. If you go in between Daytona Beach, which is right here, and Myrtle Beach. I mean, it's not that far. With the small planes, it kind of is. But, so I was thinking maybe we could, like, Hilton Head, just because I love Hilton Head. Love Hilton Head. But we shall see. I don't know what we'll do next. Where we'll open up a base. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode, everybody. I hope you all did enjoy it. I'll catch you guys on the next flight.